Nexus. Boom. Paya! 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 Everybody was Lee Sin kicking. What's up, Goon Squad? It's your boy Nola Gold back with a new Legends of Runeterra video. Yes, we got a sweet deck for you today. I call this deck Kick Axe, and I'm showing you this on my EU FTP account because my loadout is pretty terrible, and it's pretty important to play Legends of Runeterra, especially at the very competitive high top level, that you have the right emotes, because that's like a whole nother meta of its own. But this deck has been carrying along even without the right loadout. I played it in a tournament last weekend, Duels of Runeterra 10. The deck is extremely hard to play. I'll give you that heads up now. Mulligan decisions are a little tough. But just to run it down, it's called Kick Axe because obviously we have the Lee Sin kicking things and we have Draven with the axes. So, Kick Axe. Now, what does this do? Well, Lee Sin wants to see you play a lot of spells, and it works really well with Draven because not only does it produce free spells, but it also gives you free burst pump spells, which are really good with Lee Sin whenever it's leveled up. Another really cool OTK with this deck is Lee Sin leveled up. If you pair that with a Kato to give it +3/+0 and Overwhelm, or with Might, which we can generally find with the mid-game Deep Meditation, you end up with doing double damage being done on a Lee Sin. Because say you line up a 7-power Lee Sin on the backside and you challenge with it. Okay, challenge your stuff. We got 7 power. You do the kick, which is going to kick the enemy into their nexus, which is going to do 7. And then this thing has Overwhelm and has nothing in front of it to absorb the damage, so it's going to do another 7. That's 14. Really just a Might plus a Twin Disciplines, a Kato plus a Twin Disciplines. Can be a OTK from 20 no matter what kind of heal they have or anything. Not to mention Lee Sin is fine just doing the kicks to play removal while he's trying to find the Might, but you generally always have Might or Kato in most games. Along the way we have things that really benefit and they proc off of playing 2 spells. Like we'll see Eye of the Dragon. Eye of the Dragon's really crucial in a deck like this because it gives you some sustain in the mid game to help you find and find, well, you know, buy time to be able to find your combo. Also, it curves really nicely into a turn 3 Draven with Sonic Wave. Sonic Wave is another one of the spells that came out that makes 2 spells off of 1 spell. So Sonic Wave's 2 mana. You give something Challenger. How about Draven getting Challenger? That's pretty good. Another nice one to give Challenger is the Eye of the Dragon Life Linker, the Life Stealer. And then you could do the backside because you get a fleeting resonating strike. So you pump the Life Stealer so you gain extra life to sustain. You pump the Draven to get through a high toughness something. Or you could also Sonic Wave the Kato if the Kato's out, and then that way you can attack something small with the Kato, so the Kato is still be allowed to either block on your opponent's attack turn or to stick around even further to make it back to your turn to be able to Kato again. Getting multiple attacks out of Kato is really nice. Protecting them with Twin Disciplines is nice. We also play Will of Ionia for tempo, Deny for tempo if we can counter a big spell or effect, or just protect our combo from the most potent removal against Lee Sin. We're talking things like Vengeance, Riptide Stuns, Will of Ionia. Those are like the easiest ways to break up the OTK. But this deck can function without the OTK just by being a nice Draven Kato deck with some good interaction. We have Concussive Palm to keep them off guard, stun, buy time, get a chump blocker, or a trader, a 3/2 you can trade pretty well with this Concussive Palm. One of the better cards coming out of the new set. You could also whittle them down with Shadow Assassins, which is really nice, and you can play this nice Shadow Assassin retreat game in the mid game where you block, bounce it, put it back into play, churning through your deck to find your combo. The deck has been overperforming really from what it looks like on paper. It doesn't seem like it would be that powerful, but it truly is. Even outside the end game, I've won games without Lee Sin, I've won games without Draven, I've won games without Draven and Lee Sin. Just Kato, Shadow Assassin, overwhelming them with Dragonlings. Double Eye of the Dragon draws can produce a lot of attackers. So overall, the deck is quite good. I do recommend that you play a lot of games with this deck. before you write it off, because there's a lot of counterintuitive plays that you make sometimes. Like you'll play Draven, you get an axe, so throwing things away with axe. They usually come up whenever you draw 2 Dravens, because if you have Draven, you get the signature spell, which is the Whirling Death. Pretty good, because you might block and then put 2 axes on there, threaten to level it with a survival of combat, and then maybe they'll point a removal spell at it, like, you know, then you hit them with a Whirling Death and you level it up, which is really good. Because then Draven will have Overwhelm. Naturally, it's already hard to block, but then it's also doing heavy damage if they're trying to chump block it. That's a couple things. And so what spells you throw away with the axes? Playing with Draven is a level all of its own. Draven kind of dipped down after the last set came out, but it's very powerful, and those axes are really nice with the Lee Sin. Even pump up the Lee Sin, or give you trades, or being able to, sometimes you just do it in a block phase to be able to give your Life Stealer, your Dragonling, 3 power so you can block a fearsome unit. So there's a lot of play to this deck, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And if you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell and the alert so that you can be annoyed by an email every time I upload a video. Okay, get into the games here. Garen, Fiora, Bannerman's pretty decent matchup for this deck. You pretty much always want Mulligan Mites. You want to find Draven in your opener. Sometimes Shadow Assassin if you're up against a control deck, or if you already have a retreat in your hand. Palm is something that is good against mid-range decks. This deck is generally pretty good against mid-range decks, but I think I'll go ahead and mulligan it. It's not super necessary. So here we picked up the Sonic Wave to go with the Draven. That's going to be really nice. We don't have the attack token on the correct turn. If we have the odds, then this opening hand's a lot better. Having these 2 mites is also pretty terrible because they're usually late game finishers and not super helpful in the mid game. Not very efficient anyway.
It's Draven time.
Draven time, everybody. You have to watch out for something like a repost, single combat here. Combat. Then give her one of these mites. Might have been better to actually Sonic Wave it, but I'm hoping to draw another unit. I'm gonna need another unit to stay in this game, for sure. But I'm fine spending 5 mana next turn just deep med. I mean, the best I could do is maybe play Grizzle Ranger. That would be tough. Aggressive Palm's a nice pickup. That'll help us churn into this Lee Sin. We already have Might for the Lee Sin. And it's Twin Disciplines for the OTK. So we just gotta survive and then dodge removal like Detain. Detain being the biggest one. Damage-based removal doesn't hit Lee Sin that well because it makes a shield for himself. Back. So we'll see what they play. Garen. I'm gonna go ahead and bank the 3. Maybe I can get a Lee Sin down. Start chumping this other board. Since we picked up the second one, I think it's probably worth playing.
Lead our charge.
Demacia, now and forever.
Our enemies cannot hide. My lands need me. Center your spirit. I will not hold back.
You know what? It might be better to actually grab the Garen instead of Cythria, since we have so many of these blockers. We'll go ahead and axe up the Sonic Wave here. Just in case they have like +1/+1. And this should hook this. I'm not going to attack with this. It'll trade with this. Or just get eaten by the Cythria. Nice to get the Garen off the board though. And like our Nexus health is still pretty high, above 10 here. Since we have the second Lee Sin, if they like single combat my shit. Alright. Well, so be it. That's the second single combat. Turns out that we are going to be able to play Lee Sin and then open into a Might. Still have the OTK here available. We could, since we need 2 spells to combo with the Lee Sin, I think it's probably worth just playing the Lee Sin to begin with.
Spring does not pity winter.
Here.
What could have been?
Force is meaningless without skill.
They do. There.
The order rewards its faithful.
They play.
Raise the banner, lift our spirits.
Could be a scary,
Conflict is all in the mind. I fight with the dragon's fury.
this could be a detain here. Single combat won't do it.
Conflict is all in the mind. Prepare yourself.
Sooner than 20. See, because this is going to kick this 10 into the Nexus. Boom. Paya! 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 Everybody was Lee Sin kicking. Paya! Paya!
Endures.
Beautiful. Don't want the Might. I don't know if we want the KO. What are we up against? Yasuo. This is going to be one of the worst matchups is Yasuo because this most effective thing is against our combo and our Draven as well, which is our backup plan, is Draven kills and Kato kills. Stuns, recalls, all of those things. Stuns, recalls, freezes. Those are generally the best. I don't know. Maybe we get underneath them a little bit with a Draven. We'll have to see. It'll be really hard. We don't have the attack token on the odds.
Think you're fast? Cute.
Well, picking up a second Draven doesn't hurt. Tommy Skell, welcome to the Goon Squad, baby. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, that's how you doing it, huh? You just out here open attacking, huh? No, we'll see what happens here. We're probably gonna have to pick up a deny off this deep med to be able to plus a Might, and then have to draw at least Sin as well to really get into this.
It's Draven time.
It's possible that we could overwhelm the board and go super wide, but if a Yasuo comes down on 4, it's gonna be really difficult. What? I don't know if they know how this card works. We'll lose our axe, which kind of sucks, but
We're cooking.
I don't know if that's what their intention was. I want to just open for the 3 instead of being greedy and playing this 2, because if they play
Axes coming right up.
any kind of slow speed stun, something like the Sentry, Arachnoid Sentry, we want to feel real bad about not getting this axe, because we're going to need these spells to level up our Lee Sin.
Death is like the wind,
That's well.
always by my side.
It was looking pretty good. Might be that we should super try and just whirling death this thing away. It's gonna be a nice retreat. fire spell.
Silent as death.
Well, if we don't play the Kato, then we end up in a weird spot where we can't really block the Yasuo, but I think it's probably okay, because we need to just bring a lot of heat.
Big blade for a little warrior.
Underestimate me. I dare you.
I face my fate. Your turn.
Go time! I give you muscles!
I don't mind chunking him for 10 right here if possible. What kind of stuns he got? Yeah. Kind of making this like the stun priority. Here's the thing though. We're just going to axe this Draven and this Yasuo is going to be like having to do something. Put itself in combat.
Want to see these moves up close?
Unless they remove this thing from combat, they're in a real bad spot, I think. I think we just do it like this.
For the moneymakers.
I like the palm over the will. And I think we just offer this trade right here instead of being greedy with this. Okay. So this is kind of perfect because now we get to level up the Draven here. Although we could might and level up the Draven, which is just, I think it's just such a big play. Because we'll get to keep our elusive. And we get the full 7. Really 12 damage here. This will still get stunned, but it won't die to the Yasuo's ability. We get 1 axe, and then we hit for another 7. And we're just gonna level this up. And look, they're way down on 5 now. You got palm to go even wider. Without having to, you know, worry about this thing killing us. Yeah. It's a big game. That's a big game. Usually Yasuo is tough, but I don't know, it lined up pretty good. Primed up for Lee Sin kickery. Might be hard to like get in with this Draven. You gotta keep Draven. Got a might. Sonic Wave to go with the set Draven. We have the attack token on the odds.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
Smell that?
Yeah, Warchef's post combat. Alright. I don't know about that one.
The party has arrived.
They generally pass back in this situation.
You're covered.
Oh, guess not. Okay.
God axes need fixing.
Get rid of the Challenger. Seems okay. And we'll also axe this away. Because we don't want the Challenger with the Warchefs eating this for free. Also, is a double spell turn, so that means we're going to get a Dragonling to block this 3-2 next turn. Generally not going to be a good attack turn for our opponent next turn.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Looks like he's going to have this play. What if we just stun this up right now? Why would we do it right now?
Feel the sizzle! Hardly.
We do it after the hook.
All is yours.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Keep my Draven intact. You take no damage to clear out their 3-1. It's a pretty good turn there.
I am one with the land.
Be hard to beat a repost here.
Let's do this.
Wow. Clean takes it. I like it. Like it.
Two worlds, one.
Shit, huh? One could be a problem. We should have axed this turn. Should have axed to level up the Draven. That would have made more sense. Because then we also could have like deep meted and then we get that blocker for the next turn.
What do you
Which would be nice. Caretaker, we're at 18. Maybe we should do this. Let's get this one. We'll try and double spell next turn. We just didn't want to burn any mana, that's for sure. It's Kato.
sense an imbalance?
Head to the face. I demand satisfaction. Aha! Eat up, friend.
Any way to pump the war chefs? Because if we could just get one axe on this, that'd be pretty good.
Got an axe with your name on it. For the money makers.
Let's swap a room.
Had to be.
Good news. Now we have the leveled up Draven.
My name.
Who gets tossed?
He's tossed everybody. A rally would be terrible. Remembrance. Not the scariest thing in the world. Double remembrance. After we tapped out on that deny, does not feel great.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Punch it. Aha!
It's a fine attack.
Oh, muscles.
Hold back the darkness!
Looks like the will's got to go here. Axe has probably got to go. I think we need this twin disciplines. Maybe we got to get rid of the deny.
For the money makers.
That way we get the Radiant off the board. Right. Get a 1 for 5. They did a full heal and then we hit him for 9. Got 2 axes here. We get the proc off of this for the next turn. He tries to fight the Draven with this, then we can pump it back in with Twin Disciplines. Tries to fight it with this. Another Kato. Pretty insane. I was really hoping to pick up another unit, either Draven himself, Kato, or Eason. They're all going to be like big finishers.
Harry, riposte. Hardly fair.
I think that this is fine taking this right here.
It is me.
can axe to get a life stealer if we want to do that same attack we had before. We're at 20, so I don't think it's super necessary. Oh, good lord. Look who showed up. Look who showed up, baby. Look. Dragon Spirit time. Dragon Spirit time. Ooh, don't have a will. Don't have a will. Don't have a will.
See you, master. The sun is shining. We should too.
We're cooking.
Exit up here.
Conflict is all in the mind.
Send the Kato in. Kato can kick this.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah, this works. This is going to be 14 in the middle. So they'll have to will this.
This is my opponent.
Like will or palm, something like that. What they need here.
Stay back.
Come on, let's do the kick animation. Come on. It's a good game. You could let me have a kick animation.
Endure.
Yeah, the deck's pretty nasty.
The dragon
I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for more videos. Love, good vibes. See you later, YouTube.